TikTok has officially been banned in the United States. The day a lot of us have been dreading has finally come. And this comes after the Supreme Court recently decided to uphold the ban after ruling that it does not violate our First Amendment rights. And in response to this, TikTok put out a statement on Twitter saying, "Statement on possible shutdown. The statements issued today by both the Biden White House and the Department of Justice have failed to provide the necessary clarity and assurance to the service providers that are integral to maintaining TikTok's availability to over 170 million Americans. Unless the Biden administration immediately provides a definitive statement to satisfy the most critical service providers assuring non-enforcement, unfortunately TikTok will be forced to go dark on January 19th. And obviously a lot of people are upset about this, as we just read over 170 million people in the United States use TikTok, but I have seen some people on social media actually kind of celebrating the fact that TikTok's getting banned, and I've been seeing this meme getting shared a lot. But the majority of people are obviously very upset and angry about this, especially since a lot of people on TikTok depend on it to make a living. Ever since the platform was created, it has helped thousands of small business owners and content creators really get their names out there, and ever since then they've blown up and now are able to make a stable income. But now the US government has pretty much taken that away from them, and now they kind of have to scramble to figure out what the heck they're gonna do. And while a lot of people do have a decent following on other platforms, so they're able to easily migrate over there and this ban won't affect them too much, a lot of other people who were mainly known on TikTok and relied on it for their source of income, they're not really going to do so well when they move to other platforms, and this ban is really going to affect them. And as a result, we're going to be seeing a lot of small businesses really suffer or maybe even shut down. So it is going to be sad to see the aftermath of this whole situation, but me personally though, I'm not that upset that TikTok's getting banned. I mean, yeah, obviously I don't like it because I use the app every day, and it also has some of my favorite videos that I've ever seen on the internet, and it was sad to see my For You page filled with people doing old popular trends from like a couple years ago just to be like, hey, this app is getting banned, might as well do this old trend one last time. And seeing some of my favorite content creators on the platform saying goodbye to TikTok is also really sad. But another really sad thing about this ban to me personally, and I know this is going to sound ridiculous, but I have to say goodbye to my 237-day streak that I built up with my friend. And we even got the streak pet too, but we haven't had the chance to name it, and now we won't be able to. Rest in peace, little guy. You will be missed. On a serious note though, I am genuinely kind of sad that TikTok is getting banned, as well as a lot of other people, since the app has kind of become a staple in a lot of our lives. I mean, like I said earlier, I use TikTok pretty much every day, so going from that to Instagram Reels or whatever social media I'm going to use to cope with the fact that TikTok's banned is probably going to be a bit of a rough adjustment to say the least, and it's probably going to be that way for a lot of other people. But one thing I find very strange about this whole situation is how quick Congress was to ban TikTok, because compared to how they deal with all the other actual problems that are plaguing the United States, Congress is pretty much like, what? Homelessness? Inflation? Pfft, what even is that? But when it came to banning TikTok, they locked in and were like, oh shoot, we gotta ban this app quick. We can't have the Chinese government stealing people's data. Only we can do that. And that's another thing too. The government loves to claim that China's going to use TikTok to control what Americans see, even though the US government is literally guilty of that exact same thing. Just look up Operation Mockingbird. And the US government also loves to claim that China's gonna use TikTok to make people anti-American, when the government is already doing a fantastic job of doing that. I mean, heck, this TikTok ban alone is already making people very anti-government. Not to mention, they've sent billions of dollars to Ukraine and Israel, while the average person in the US needs to work 2 or sometimes 3 jobs to afford rent and other basic necessities. If you need to call an ambulance, then you gotta cough up $2,000 or even more if you don't have insurance. And even with insurance, it can still be pretty expensive. The two problems that I mentioned before, homelessness and inflation, continue to rise each and every year. Gun violence has been a problem for decades. I mean, it is just crazy. I know I'm repeating myself and I've said these same points in previous videos, but it is just crazy to me how the government constantly continues to focus on non-important problems like banning TikTok instead of focusing on the real issues. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like the Chinese government is innocent, because they are very well known for actively suppressing freedom of speech. I mean, if you're in any Chinese-owned space online and you say something like June 4th, 1989 Tiananmen Square massacre, or show this picture, you will actually get banned from that space. They are very notorious for actively monitoring and censoring anything negative about them, so they are a whole lot worse than the US government. But the thing that gets me the most about this situation is that the government is acting like the big hero and they're protecting our national security from China, which, let's be honest, they are not doing this for national security reasons. Because if they were, they'd be going after every other website, social media platform, or anywhere on the internet that steals our data. But they're not, because again, it's not about national security. But if you thought it was over for TikTok in America, then I've got some good news, as Donald Trump has said that after he takes office on Monday, he will most likely extend the ban by 90 days. Although he hasn't said for sure if he's going to do it, but he's definitely looking into it. And while this is a great announcement for the future of TikTok, it also confuses me at the same time, because if you guys remember back in 2020, Donald Trump was originally the one that wanted to ban TikTok. He was the one that deemed it as a national security risk and actively wanted to give it the boot. But then if I remember correctly, some things happened later that year with Walmart and Oracle, and the whole situation was kind of settled for a while. But then suddenly last year, Congress was like, all right, let's get TikTok out of here. And then it became the whole situation that it did. And now that TikTok is gone, Donald Trump suddenly wants to save it. So this sudden switch up from him is definitely very suspicious if you ask me. But anyways, as for the future of TikTok, it's really unclear what exactly is going to happen. Is it going to stay banned? Is Donald Trump going to extend it by 90 days to let it get bought out by a US company? Is Trump going to make a deal of some sort? I don't really know. But as of January 19th, TikTok is officially banned in the United States and its future is very uncertain. I never thought I'd say goodbye to TikTok, let alone be sad that it's gone, because I was one of those people that hated TikTok when it came out, as I thought it was just really cringy. But then I downloaded it in 2021 and slowly but surely fell in love with it. And yeah, it sucks that it's gone, but to me it's not the end of the world. But lastly, I just wanted to end this video with a goodbye to TikTok. You are a great social media app that I spent way too much time doom scrolling on, and you will be missed. And that's going to do it for the video. Thank you for watching, and yeah, peace.